Memphis for a year. You spent time around Jaren Jackson Jr. He just won Defensive Player of the Year. You won Defensive Player of the Year. Tell me about your experience playing with him. From what I hear, you guys had some legendary practices.
Well, I came in December, so I came in a little later on in the season. It was Jaren's rookie year. Shout out Jaren Jackson, DPOY. We're really proud of him. Yeah, that first practice, though, they had played a game the night before. I get to Memphis. I was excited. I had just got kicked off the Knicks, so I was ready to just get back at it. First play, I get a nice little pocket pass. He goes for the block. He was tired. It was had to monkey dunk on him just to let him know, yeah, I'm here, you know. But so we were going at it that practice. I love Jaren Jackson, man. What a fighter. But I'll never forget dunking on him that first play in Memphis. But no, I'm super proud of him, the way he's playing, the way he's competing. Memphis is fun to watch. I think he's understanding the schemes. He's understanding how to use his energy. And, you know, the game slowed down for him. So he understands where he needs to be. And that's why he's the DPOI and well-deserved. And look, I'll go as far as to say I love the way they compete. I love the way he has his teammates back. Look, Dylan Brooks was on that team too. Dylan is a hell of a competitor too. And I just love watching those guys play. Like, do I think that Dylan is a lot? You know, he's a lot, but you know, he's fun to watch. I like that. I like people who compete. You know, half of the league is a lot. You know, I mean, right now it's like, look, when you're coming in with a perm, with your shirt off, you know, is that my style? Like, no. But at the end of the day, I like guys who's gonna clap in somebody's face, you know, and go at it. So shout out Dylan Brooks, definitely making an impact. And right or wrong, his teammates have his back, and I like that.
So being in Chicago, I know how much love you get when you come back, Luol gets when he comes back, Derek gets when he comes back. When you think about everything you guys did here in the city, on the court, off the court, and the love that you guys still get coming back, what does it tell you about how much you guys meant to the city and how much the city meant to you guys?
Well, you know, those guys are still my brothers, you know, and okay, basketball's over for me now, but to have those relationships is what it's all about, because when it's over, all you have left is your friends and your memories. And you know, Luol we're still tight. You know, Derek, we're still tight. Booze. I just saw Keith Bogans the other day in Miami. I mean, those guys, we're a family. So that's what it's all about. And yeah, those teams definitely resonated because we competed. You know, when I walk around the streets out in Chicago, people shake, thank you for your services. Like I was a sergeant or something like that. Like I just came back from battle. So, and you only get that from competing hard and going hard in the playoffs. You don't get that from a contract. You don't get that from anything else. And I think that that's what the people respect here. We competed our asses off in the playoffs.
So that 2011 team, obviously before Derek had his injury, everything I heard around that team was that you guys really believed that year.
Me in my mind, look, there's only a few times in my career where I was like, okay, this is our time to win a championship. And it takes a lot to feel that way. You know, you have to be prepared, you have to be healthy, you have to have the talent. And I only felt that way, honestly, twice in my career.
What was that?
Yeah, it would be the year before Pooh got hurt when we lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to Miami. You know, we were up 1-0 in the Eastern Conference. We beat Miami by like 30, I think, on game one. So that was tough. We ended up losing 4-1, but the games were all really close. The next year, you know,
11-12 with the injury.
Yeah, that year was tough, and you know, injuries derailed our whole thing. But you know, even though we dealt with some really big adversity, it's cool that we're still all close, and we didn't let that derail like who we are as people.
Would you ever want to coach, being around and at least dabbling a little bit into coaching? Would you want to coach? What do you feel about those experiences that you've had?
Nah, man, coaching's not for me. You know, I think that even being in the All-Star game, it just gives me too much anxiety. You know, at this point in my life, I'm trying to keep it cool. You know, I got 3 kids. I just gotta, you know, keep it under control. You know, coaching's tough, man, and you gotta deal with a lot of these kids. Who plays, who doesn't play. I don't need that in my life. Like, you know, one time I remember even at All-Star, that was my first coaching, and I'm not gonna get into names, but I didn't play one of the guys at the end, and I'm walking out of the arena, and he's with his grandma, and his grandma comes up to me, he's like, "How come you didn't play my son? How come you didn't play my son at the end of the game?" And I hadn't even thought about it, and I felt so bad. I was like, damn, it's an all-star game. I was trying to win. I didn't play the kid at the end. And, you know, everybody deserves to play in the all-star game. I felt bad. I felt really bad about it. And I was like, you know what, I don't need this in my life. This is too much. So I think after that all-star, Rising Star game, I'm done.
You watch players around the league now. Does anyone remind you of the fire that you had and the fire that you played with?
You know, I think everybody's different. You see characteristics sometimes, but especially in the playoffs, you know, I really like this Mobley kid. You know, I love the way that he plays the game. Tough, you know, just left, right. He can really do a little bit of everything. So I really like the way that he competes. He was actually one of my players at the Rising Star game, and I feel like he's becoming a little more vocal. I think he's a quiet kid, but you know, he's definitely, his energy is definitely enthusiastic to his teammates. He's playing with a lot of enthusiasm. Who else? And you know who I really love too? Jalen Brunson's, like, his composure out there. Shout out Jalen Brunson. Shout out to his pops, Tricky Ricky. You know, just I really like the way that series is going.